masks and face coverings will, from 11:59 p.m. Wednesday night, be mandatory for everyone in Melbourne and Mitchell Shire. If you are out of your home for one of the 4 permitted reasons, then you need to be wearing a mask, and I stress, or a face covering. This is on the advice of the Chief Health Officer, that it's a relatively simple thing, but it's also about embedding behaviour that I think is going to be just as important on the other side of this second wave as it is in bringing these case numbers down. We are going to be wearing masks in Victoria and potentially in other parts of the country for a very long time. It's about changing habits. It's about it becoming a simple part of your routine. Most of us wouldn't leave home without our keys. We wouldn't leave home without our mobile phone. You won't be able to leave home without your mask, and then wear it where it is absolutely essential to stop the spread of this virus.
In terms of wearing a mask, our advice is clear that wearing a mask if you don't have an infection really reduces the risk, almost not at all. So we do not advise that.
There is no evidence that general wearing of face masks by the public who are well affects the spread of the disease in our society.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. There are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask and they keep touching their face.
People tend to leave them on. They contaminate the face mask and then wipe it over something. So it's really not a good idea and doesn't help.
There was a statement by the World Health Organization, which was definitely against the wearing of muzzles. Now, a few weeks ago, the World Health Organization did a reverse ferret and changed its mind. And Deborah Cohen of the medical correspondent Newsnight on the BBC had an amazing scoop the other day. She actually discovered, and she put it to the WHO, that her contacts inside the World Health Organization had told her that the position of the WHO on muzzles had been changed because of political pressure, not because of medical reasons.
Debate is deeply political. Newsnight understands that the World Health Organization committee that reviewed the evidence for the use of face coverings in public didn't back them. But after political lobbying, the WHO now recommends them.
As of Monday, the 15th of June, face coverings will become mandatory on public transport.
We've therefore come to the decision that face coverings should be mandatory in shops and supermarkets.
Masks and face coverings will, from 11:59 p.m. Wednesday night, be mandatory.
Just as we are prepared by having food and water set aside in the event of a natural disaster, we are encouraging New Zealanders to have a supply of masks set aside at home in the event of a further COVID-19 outbreak.
On masks, why have you chosen not to mandate mask use,
at this
particularly
stage?
in Auckland at this point?
Yeah.
And is it something that's still on the table? Could we still see mandated mask
Yes,
use?
we could still see mandated mask use. We haven't done that as yet. One of our concerns is that not everyone will be prepared. And so you may, for instance, wish to go to your local supermarket or do a click and collect with a local hardware store to pick up masks. And of course, we wouldn't want people being fined without having them while they're in the endeavouring to get them. So that's one reason. Also, we do want to get the message out that you can fashion your own mask. And so even if you're unable to locate one at a supermarket or just the expense is prohibitive, you can use a bandana or a scarf or something else as a face covering. We haven't ruled out mandating mask use, but over the next few days until Friday in Auckland, we are strongly encouraging their use when you step outside to go and undertake any jobs or anything you might do outside of your home. But we will continue to consider whether or not we mandate.
Today, troops are out patrolling Melbourne's streets. Live now to reporter Charnel Vella. And Charnel, where will we see them?
My crew and I were driving through the city today and this afternoon, and we saw several groups of ADF personnel walking the city streets. They are, of course, accompanied by Victoria Police. They are the ones with the powers to actually find people, and it's likely we could see these troops in local areas and local hotspots. But given today is this first day of mandatory mask wearing, plus these troops on the streets, it is a very different looking Melbourne right now.
Well, health authorities say we'll have to get used to wearing them for the next few months.
On day one of mandated face coverings for about 5 million people, pretty much everyone is doing as they should, wearing face masks, bandanas or scarves. Premier Daniel Andrews has warned this measure is not short-term. Yes, they can be uncomfortable and stifling, but he says we should get used to it.
Choking me! He's choking me! What the fuck? He's choking me, dude! What the fuck? You're fucked in the head!
It's a man on a girl and you choked her. For what? For a mask? For not having a mask? Look how pathetic you are. She doesn't have a mask. Are you serious? Are you serious? Just for not having a mask?
But it's also about embedding behaviour that I think is going to be just as important on the other side of this second wave. We are going to be wearing masks in Victoria and potentially in other parts of the country for a very long time. It's about changing habits. It's about it becoming a simple part of your routine.